Good morning and welcome back to Cityline. As you can tell, the conversation never stops here in this studio. Please join me in welcoming two individuals who are passionate about the Youth Marine Foundation. And I'm talking to Monique Venezuela. You are the Executive Director and CEO of the Youth Marine Foundation. It's so good to see you again.
Good morning, Amanda. It feels like home.
It is home.
Yes.
It has been, I think we figured out in the green room, well, okay, COVID was 3.
Yes.
Before that, at least 1 year, if not 2. So we're going to say 5 on the outside.
But how do you and I keep getting younger?
Well, we do. We won't let them know how that happens. Well, hanging around handsome men like this.
Yes.
Mr. Tom Rogers, you are the president and co-founder of the Youth Marine Foundation. Wow. Welcome back, my dear.
Thank you for having us.
You look, I love that. I love when organizations still have founders with them, because I believe it's an extra measure to keep you on track and keep you remembering that moment when you went, aha, I know what I'm going to do next. Absolutely. So Tom, the Youth Marine Foundation, it's a nonprofit here in Tacoma. Right. And speaking of, what is its mission?
The stated mission is a place for youth to touch the sound. But a more expansive view of that is we have a treasure here called Puget Sound in the Commencement Bay.
Yes.
And really a large portion of our youth do not have access to it or aren't even aware of it. And what we're trying to do is engage them in what is down there, what the sound provides us, the opportunities, both economic, recreational, and environmentally, what we have to do to preserve this treasure we have called Puget Sound and the Commencement Bay.
I love that, because if there's anything I assign, and I do it because I see it with young people, it's climate. They are passionate about this. So Monique, we just flashed a great picture of all of you guys on a bus.
Yes.
How do you achieve that mission that Tom holds so dear?
Well, you know, like Tom said, the treasure is in the water, but we really focus on 3 different areas at the foundation. We focus on awareness, we focus on access, and then we focus on achievement. And awareness is that first piece. With the maritime industry, with Commencement Bay in the water, 95% of our young people have never been on the water and aren't even aware that they can get a job, that they can be on there recreationally, and that their actions can affect the health, of the bay. 95%.
You guys are doing better, I know, because next time that number is going to be smaller.
It is. In fact, we're going to achieve our awareness mission this spring by partnering with the Foss Waterway Seaport Museum, and we're going to take every 7th grader in Tacoma Public Schools on the water for a minimum 1-hour field trip. So the awareness is really where it starts as a 7th grader. The access is the high school classes we teach on campus. We right now have 58 students that do a combined marine science class, testing the waters, getting data, seeing what affects the health of the bay, and then a vessel operations class. So you can test the water, but how do you turn the engines on? How do you maintain safety? What happens if you have to do a man overboard drill? So we actually have 58 high school students that come to our waterfront campus every week. And then achievement, our Sea Scouts, as you met them before,
I love them.
they are coming on nights and weekends, and they really want to get more intense training on the water. They go right into industry at 18. They go to California Maritime, and they are servicing and working on our state ferries, both county ferries, and then in a lot of the industry boats you see. So we have 3 different pathways we successfully get youth on the water.
I just want to say congratulations, because that is to both of you and all the people that are not on this couch, that is tremendous. I mean, you have, from soup to nuts, you've thought of everything in those 3 categories. So Tom, based upon that, what outcomes and successes do you see in those youth that participate in those programs?
Well, I think any engagement we have with youth is a very important engagement. And one of our strong points is our engagement is very strong with adults also. So young people are getting out of their high school classes or their junior classes. They're working with adults, they're working with the real world, and they're gaining on that. But we have successes, personal successes in many ways. We have many individuals who are leading our government, our industries, and nonprofits throughout the community. But we also see success for the individuals building confidence and skills and going out and entering into the world with those skills and taking and building the families and contributing back to the communities.
Exactly.
So-
I mean, I guess we would, if we saw a picture of somebody in a boat learning how to steer a boat, we wouldn't go, well, that's a life skill you have to have.
No.
But it's not the steering of the boat that's the important
It's the
part.
confidence building that it creates.
That's
It's,
right.
How often do you go out and drive a 100-ton truck? Well, you don't.
Oh, I
You
haven't
go out
done
and
it, so that's on my list.
But you're going to go
Okay.
out and drive a 100-ton boat, and you're going to have to
Wow.
learn to operate that boat. So yes,
I love
those
that.
are skills for a lifetime.
Absolutely. There are other maritime programs in the South Sound. Monique, when you think about those programs, what sets this program apart?
Probably the biggest difference is that waterfront access, and that's something that getting onto the water or in the water is cost prohibitive. Owning and operating a boat, being a member of a boating organization like a yacht club or something else, if you don't come from that generational wealth or even that history of being a fishing family, there's a huge barrier of access. The biggest, I think, asset that we have at the Youth Marine Foundation is our 2-acre campus that is directly on the water. So our goal is removing that financial obstacle, which is a lot of waterfront access, both to owning and operating a boat and just getting on the water. We maintain a campus with dock space, a repair shop, so youth can actually operate in a working tide flats environment, and then a huge classroom that we partner with Tacoma Public Schools, Soda and Sammy. So the physical locality, not to mention the world-class training vessel that we just brought to the city.
I heard a rumor that you two went shopping and brought something back.
We did.
From Texas.
From Texas.
Oh my gosh. So tell us about it, and how did Tacoma outbid or get the attention from Texas and beyond its home base?
Well, first of all, we have to say hi and thank you to our wonderful supporters at Sea Star Base Galveston and the Doolin family. One of the biggest things that kids learn is being on the water. And you'll see right through here, that is the motor vessel Doolin Rogers.
Look at that.
Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. We knew we had to get a vessel that could take out the maximum amount of public school students possible. And we had the Charles and Curtis, which had a limited capacity and was a wooden 91-year-old vessel.
Wow.
Tom found this. There's our very own mayor bringing us into Tacoma.
Speaking of steering the boat.
Yes, steering the boat. That's right. And the Doolin family and Mr. Charles Doolin, an amazing philanthropist based out of Dallas, had purchased this boat and remodeled it for the purpose of training young children.
Oh my goodness.
Unfortunately, Mr. Doolin has passed, but his sons, Wes and PJ, wanted to make sure his legacy lived on. Tom and I boarded a flight to Texas. We met with the family. We showed them not only the training programs, but that Tacoma had the support to take this to the next level and honor their father's legacy. And amazing foundations like the Cheney Foundation,
Yes.
the Quorum for Kids Foundation, the Milgard Foundation. In fact, the city of Tacoma, the county, the port, state, all gathered around to make sure this vessel came to Tacoma. And in 90 days, we've had over 1,800 young people on the water at the first time. We've had over 71 class hours, and we have just really blown kind of the whole plan open that now every kid will have an opportunity because our nonprofit has a home for that vessel that you can see when walking over the 11th Street Bridge. So we're so grateful for our partners in Texas that met with us, but we were able to show that we have Mr. Rogers, our founder. We have the support of our city officials, our private family foundations, our school district, Superintendent Garcia. Be able to say that Tacoma is here together for the kids really helped show our Texas partners that they're going to honor their dad's legacy. And we're so honored to rename it the Motor Vessel Doolin Rogers for Mr. Doolin and Mr.
Yay.
Rogers. Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Great story.
I love that. So in the next 3 minutes, I want to talk about diversity and equity. You brought this up, but not in that way, about barriers on the water. And I have a friend who has just moved here and is wondering, how do I get my children on the water? So let's talk about what does this foundation do to promote equity and diversity?
I'm so glad you asked that. Well, and I have lived that. I mean, I found out about the foundation actually through one of the board members. We're having coffee, he's hiring an executive director, and I said, wait a minute, this foundation does what? And it blew my mind. Amanda, you and I are local girls.
Yep.
I've been here a long time. And I thought, oh my gosh, my sons would have loved this. So coming at this from a non-boating perspective, our whole goal is to blow just everyone's minds and know where the equity is. There are families like mine that I grew up in, as a single parent, that you can't access afternoon and weekend programs.
Right.
You might work a second job. You might be
Exactly.
babysitting. And so that's really where this year, the partnership with Tacoma Public Schools, School of the Arts, Science and Math Institute, and the entire middle school faculty is really our entry point. The school day is so much more protected
Yep.
that if we can't get kids to the campus nights and weekends, we can at least make it a school day function that every student can at least get on the water to find out about that. We also work very intentionally with some organizations in our community. For example, the Asian Pacific Cultural Center. We've
Love
talked
them.
with them about launching different programs. We work with Maritime Blue, and this summer we had Goodwill students and from Centro Latino come down in the summer to give them their first hands-on, experience in kayaking. So meaningful outreach with all of these community programs of non-traditional boating youth is really where our goal is. And also getting adults, being the only Latina that manages a maritime organization I'm very proud of that, but it definitely comes with
Absolutely.
its challenges.
I'm proud of you.
Mr. Tom has to remind me that, stilettos in a dry dock are probably not a good idea.
Oh, but you know what? The Chanel red lipstick is timeless.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
so that's okay. We can find some snazzy wedges for you to wear.
That's right.
I want to say to both of you in this last few minutes, thank you. And thank you does not seem like it even scratches the surface of what this organization has accomplished. My goodness, I mean, if you live in the Puget Sound, you always want to know about the water, how to get into it, how to take care of it. You have provided the keys to the kingdom.
Absolutely.
So I say thank you to you both so much. And I want to have you back on this couch, not in 5 years, but in 5 months. Deal?
Only if you come on our boat as well and meet the kids.
I will, and I promise I'll wear my red Chanel lipstick.
I love it.
All right. We have much more to come on Cityline. Don't go away. We'll be right back.